Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited here. I'm here with one of my top realtors I get to work with, Dar Rodgers. She's with the Wholehearted Homes team, and she's going to help give us some insight on the real estate market. So just going to dive right on in here. And starting off here with some of the mortgage market, what we've seen is a lot of volatility in rates here this past month. More volatility than normal. In fact, probably some record volatility. And so I think it's really important, especially for first-time home buyers, but everybody, to have a strategy to deal with those kind of volatility. We actually have a mutual client who rates were down to the lows of the year on Friday. They were going out and excited to look at homes, negotiate a home. By the time they got an offer accepted, rates had jumped up quite a bit. So you have to have a strategy of how do you deal with that. And I think one of the best things to do to protect your borrower in that kind of case is lock as soon as possible, even if it has jumped where you're a little bit like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Lock though as soon as possible with somebody who has a really good rate renegotiation policy. I think that you're protected in that sense, even though you want the rate that was 2 days ago that's no longer available. It's important, I think, to be protected, because if you don't lock, you have nothing, and if rates go up, you're subject to the high rate. Whereas if you go with somebody that has a good renegotiation policy, you're protected at the high side. And if we do see rates come down even before closing, we can renegotiate the rate. What are your thoughts on that, Dar? Have you seen other kind of strategies, or do you kind of similarly agree on that kind of approach?
Well, Peter, when I'm sitting here listening to you talk, I actually have a bigger question for you, I think. Do you feel like your company offers really good renegotiation strategies?
I do. I think that's actually a really unique thing of we're an independent mortgage broker. So we work with several different lenders, and most all lenders offer some sort of rate renegotiation. Every policy is a little bit different. So we have the tools and resources. So in this case, we went with a lender who happened to be priced the best, but also has the best renegotiation policy. Where it has to improve by a certain amount, and that's where renegotiation policies can differ. Some require it to be a full point in discount points better. This lender requires the lowest that I've seen, which is only half a point in improvement in discount points. So I think we do have incredible resources, a lot of options for borrowers when it comes to that.
It sounds like it's really important on your end as a lender to have those relationships and just be in the now who is willing to renegotiate.
100%.
I'll say on the agent side, we really rely on you as the lender.
Yeah.
I find our job, to answer your question, is, I think that's really important. But we lean in on you to say, I don't know when they should lock. I don't know when they shouldn't lock, and educating the client. So what we do is we share with our clients. It's really important to have a relationship with the Peters of the world and to have open communication.
Yes.
Because I know you're very passionate about advocating for our clients, which is a big reason why we team up. And you will make sure that you are protecting their future asset and today's asset, the money.
Actually, that brings another point too, is when you're seeing real volatility, there's a lot of reprices sometimes throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And that's where it also favors having an independent mortgage broker a lot, because not everybody's going to reprice at the same time. So if you miss out on one rate, you can go back to another lender, which is the same thing we actually had to do in this case, because there's a reprice for the worst with the top lender at the time. So yeah, we do have one. But what kind of things are you seeing here just on the whole real estate side? I mean, spring market, a lot of pickup in general, but what kind of things have you seen out there for buyers?
Well, we definitely have picked up our pace since February. I think you've already talked about it. It was a little bit of a slow start, which always gives us time to clean up our systems, I'd say. But we're picking up in spring, and we're seeing in some areas it's very hyper local focused, where we're getting competing offers, we're writing competing offers. Mm-hmm. That's not across the board. I don't want to scare anyone. But there's more and more buyers. That's what it tells us. We are also seeing more listings. For example, we're ramping up we're prepping 3 to 4 listings right now to come soon. So that's great for the buyer.
Yeah, I think that speaks to, yeah, a lot more inventory when you're looking at the RMLS statistics here. We'll put up this report for you guys, but we're seeing more active listings out there, which I think is a really good thing in general for buyers and balancing out the market, which has been such a dominant seller's market. So I keep saying that in these updates, but we are seeing more gravity towards a normal balanced market, which I think is good, even though you are seeing still competitive offers for sure.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that at certain price points or it just depends on the neighborhood, like you said, is a big
It's
pocket?
honestly been even confusing for us as agents. You know, we've written competitive offers on $1 million, on $500,000, definitely anything under 400K. If you can get your hands on it, it's pretty competitive. But that being said, it really is the felt sense of we are in a healthier market. And healthier market to me is where it's a little bit more even buyer seller market. And that I think is good news for everyone.
I
It
agree.
makes it less chaotic. We have time to breathe before jumping all in on an offer. Sellers have time to also organize what's most important to them. It's a little bit more of a win-win, reciprocal.
Yeah. Do you have strategies in some of those competitive markets that you found have been working in this market that's a little more specific to
Well, it's more specific. In general, I say it's about the relationship you have in the community with other agents and your ability to have very professional, transparent conversations with the other agent to gain as much information on what the seller's looking for and vice versa.
Cool.
Representing seller buyer. I think that's important. And really understanding what's important to our clients and their buying power. And then that relationship again, as you know, with their lender to understand if you're writing for more, what's your affordability? What does that look like? So preparing for people up front.
Cool. Yeah, a question I like to ask and learn from people is just kind of what are you learning right now? Not necessarily real estate even related, but what's something in Dar's life right now that you're learning about yourself or learning in general?
Gosh, Peter, I feel like I'm always learning. Life is such a big classroom. That's how I see this world. So professionally, communication. It's always something that we strive to improve, and it changes, especially just with the environment. I feel like there's a little bit more fear because there's so much uncertainty in this year, which equates to how do we connect more with our people. So we're open-minded and creative about how to do that. On a personal level, I'm really practicing being more still and listening to myself versus all of the voices outside of the world that tend to just dictate for years of how I perform. Even that word performance I mentioned to you, trying to understand what is performance versus just serving and being. That's where I am in my life right now.
Cool. Man. That's also, it's kind of similar to me. I'm learning more on understanding. You mentioned understand quite a bit. I think that's so key. It's such a key piece of communication and understanding what clients, wife, children. This is so important. And perspective alongside with that is trying to figure out from their perspective what are they thinking. And I think that is so important relationally. It's really an important piece of understanding is just trying to get something from their perspective, which it's just not my nature. It's just trying to focus on that.
It's not your nature to.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Lean into I just have my own perspective on things that is just. It seemed like, oh, this makes sense from this perspective. So I was trying to retune myself to understanding it from other people's perspective.
That seems fair, right? We learn our own individual thoughts and we write our own stories. I say that a lot. And then leading in to find out what somebody else's story is. See if you can somehow integrate the two.
Yeah.
That perspective. I love the word curiosity. It's kind of
I do too.
Of the year. And when I find I'm kind of stuck in a sense of judgment. Because I love working with you because you're always open to, I call it teasing it out, whiteboarding something.
Absolutely. That actually reminds me of my favorite scene from any TV show pretty much is, did you guys ever watch the, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the name of the show now, but it's the soccer one where he's curious about playing darts. I'll put it up, but
oops, research on
it. It was really popular. It was really popular Apple show. So,
a soccer player.
Well, he's the coach. Oh my gosh, it's so weird that it's just all.
Yeah, it's also really validating.
Yeah, it's also validating. Well, I'm getting
again. We're seeking to understand where our stories come from. The curiosity.
But curiosity is important. It's super important. So, also, we're really excited about a event that we're teaming up with here.
Yeah.
And you want to share? Or we actually have Michaela, who's been very integral in setting this all up for us. So, Michaela, would you mind sharing a couple of things? We're excited. You guys are all invited. It's a really cool May market. Wholehearted has really put this on and poured a lot into it. I'm really excited to be a part of it. And it's just an awesome way for bringing community together. And so I'm going to bring Michaela and her special guest maybe up here and share a little bit about
Scoot into the middle here.
the May market. So Michaela, do you mind just sharing kind of a little bit about what the heart is behind the event and some of the details to share with people?
I'm going to introduce. This is Michaela and Beckham. We are all part of our Wholehearted Homes team. Yeah. And Michaela is amazing at organizing our events. And this year we were really excited. We had this like aha moment, like, why are we not teaming up with Peder, our favorite lender, to bring more people together? Because that's really why we do these events. Is we think it's important to bring the community together. It's a free event. And I'm going to let you take it from here. Yeah. Our passion behind this.
Yeah. So this is our annual May Day market, and we hand out May Day flowers. There's local vendors to shop for Mother's Day. And we are this year teaming up with Symphony Coffee House, and they will be handing out free matcha and chai. And we'll have other fun things going on like Mother's Day crafts, and there will be live music, and it's just a really fun community event to connect with each other and others in the community. And it's very special to us because it honors two of our friends who passed away from cancer, my friend Lindsay and our friend Chris. And we raise funds for Warm Blankets at the event, which is a nonprofit that comes alongside families going through cancer and grief. And my friend Lindsay, who passed away, this is her mom's, not It's a very special day for us, and we love seeing everyone's faces and connecting with our community. And that's really why we do it, is to bring the community together and just shine our lights in any way we can.
Love it. That's so cool. Beckham, are you excited to do some Mother's Day crafts, buddy? Oh yeah, 2 thumbs up for that. So that's gonna be really cool.
I don't know if we mentioned when it is.
Oh yeah.
You want me to do that? It's Saturday, May 3rd, and it's at our office space. It's Lifetime Work, which is in Cedar Hills. And it's from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock. So not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And we'd love to see all of you just come out. Again, it's free. It's gathering the community, a way to meet new people. Or if you'd rather not meet new people, you can sit and listen to the band. They are amazing.
Live music is so awesome.
It is, and it just brings people together. I say it's like the best church version of church. You get to sing and dance, listen if you don't like to do any of those things, have some free tea, and yeah, just be together. I think we've kind of gotten away from that. Well, I don't think, I know. COVID allowed us these opportunities to be really independent. Now it's time to co-regulate, I call it.
I love it. Actually, that's a good transition on live music. We like to share too our song of the month, and Dar has one, and we're kind of on the same page here, going country. Yeah. So you want to share your song of the month here?
Yeah. So it's Kane Brown, Backseat Driver, a really good friend of mine from college, sent it to me one day, and it's just so sweet. It's all about Kane writes this story to his firstborn daughter. And then I had the honor of last month getting to see him in concert, and he actually talked about that. So it's just such a sweet song and a great perspective of being in awe, just even as a human. Totally. That our little ones bring that back into the world for us. You know, they're like the birds, the bees, are
simple things. Yeah.
How are you driving the car with your foot? Like all the curiosities. Oh, there's our word again.
Yep, there we go. That's so cool. It is a really, really cool song. I checked it out here too, just after you had mentioned it.
How about you?
I like it. I'm staying on the countryside of things with All the Way by featuring Bailey Zimmerman, and also Big the Thug. Big the Plug. That's a tough one. It's a new one to me though. And then I'm a Little Crazy by Morgan Wallen, which he's been on my list the last 2 months, and he just keeps it rolling.
I think you might need to join Michaela at that concert.
I think so. Man, I think I would love that. I think I would love that. I might have to make that happen.
She mentioned to us she's gonna get to see Oregon in concert
July.
live this
And
July.
his new album coming out in May. Good timing. It's really cool. So
It's a good classic. Wow. Well, thank you for
yes,
today. This
thank
was
you
so
so much for
fun.
joining me, Dar. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If we can help in any way, let us know. Our information will be below. And thank you guys very much for tuning in.
Yeah, and if you want more information about our event, just look up either one of our websites or reach out. Better yet.
We'll link it in here too.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Go, Dar.